Okay. All right. Welcome to the first episode of our podcast. I'm David. This is
Fernando.
and this is Of Mice and Men. So today we're going to be talking about neuroplasticity, the brain, college. The semester's about to start up again. So, we're just going to let it fly off the handle, see what happens, and I'll let Fernando take it away. He had some interesting thoughts on neuroplasticity.
Neuroplasticity, we've been thinking about it all our lives as people who are familiar with, or can you restart? I want to get to a point about animals. Oh, we can just restart.
I can edit it. It's live, bro. Just let it fly off the handle.
Yeah, animals are really cool. My first pod had so many cuts. Animals are a great example of neuroplasticity and archetypes, I think, because you don't have to think about it with your ego. You can just see a bird gets born and it has certain paths that it knows it needs to follow. And what makes a bird different than us? Obviously a lot of things, but you get what I'm saying.
So, can I add to that? I'm going to add to that. So, I don't necessarily... So, you're saying... Rephrase what you were saying.
Yeah. I should probably use more of a mammalian example. Like cats, they come out of the womb and their environment is what it is. And they have preset neurological pathways, like stay with the women of the pack, and the man has, if it's a boy, knows like I'm on a ticking timer in this social setting.
Okay, that's kind of like Freudism, where he based off human archetypes off animals. See, that's what I mean by we're getting to an age where animals and humans, they're very different. You see what I'm saying?
Because humans are intertwining with technology in a.
This is a very delicate age. Where is machine going to become man, or is man going to become machine? This is where we're what's going to happen is it's very interesting to me to see the type of, because people say that AI art isn't art. That's what we did to black people. No, black people can't make art. They're black. Oh, AI can't make art. It's AI. It's artificial.
Oh no, it can make art. It's getting to the point that professional artists of music or film or whatever are using AI, and they're a lot of them are using AI.
Yes.
In their promotional work, which I think you should keep all the artists' work.
I use AI in my art. I'll say that right now. I use an AI editor. So I do stop motion animation, right? Mm-hmm. So I do all the animation myself, just like Henry Selick or Tim Burton would do. I have the wires, I move piece by piece, move everything, and then I take it, I screenshot the frame, take it, put it into the digital AI editor, digitally remove it, and the AI does the art and removes it. So it's like rotoscoping, except the AI is doing all the rotoscoping for me.
I also think that it's good for stuff like that, where I produce music and I plan on using AI to mix until I get a good handle on it. But I think it's great for entry-level artists to fill in the gaps of their talent. But I'm speaking of like the Strokes and like those level people where they have a financial base where they can spread the love to artists. I think. But that's kind of separate from the AI eating the human stuff. I think we're getting down a line of where a lot of people will go to, the elites are controlling AI and making machines, and they want their end goal is to kill off 80% of the population so that they can live on
some Attack on Titan shit.
I really don't think that's the case, just because I think that the powers be are generally good in trying to solve cancer and homelessness.
So you really think that? That's interesting.
I think the forces, the powers that be, the forces that be are, but not the powers that be, because obviously in America we're run by the technocratic elites who control the wealth and hog it to themselves.
Okay, so for the layman, describe what technocratic means.
Sam Altman, someone that owns a company where they're handling a bunch of sensitive user data and they're maybe not sticking to the laws or ethics of how they.
So the Jeffrey Bezos, the Mark Zuckerbergs,
the people that make your algorithms.
Yeah, basically
so that you shop with.
The people who are controlling America. This is not misinformation. If you just read the terms and agreements,
follow the money, baby.
Just follow the money.
This company owns that company, and you can see it happen in real time with I believe Google. I have to hit up Ground News, but these tech startups are being tech startups are being bought out by the bigger ones, like for $20 billion. This company just started a couple years ago,
and it's hush under the radar. How can a $20 billion deal be under the radar? Because they fill your Instagram feed with, oh, this person broke up with that person. This person's a pedo. Hollywood this, Hollywood. What about the government?
My suggestion with that, one, stick to watching C-SPAN a lot. Watch C-SPAN a lot. And what I do is I have a YouTube TV subscription, so I get use the multi-view with BBC and CNN Fox and one American, like solely American owned news thing. So I get that's usually local stories. BBC is top international headlines, and then what the interesting is you see the drama being played out where you read the headline and you start really listening to what they're saying. You read the headline and it'll be a story about the protest that happened in Iran earlier today, and then they're gerrymandering in a bunch of stuff that's like separate, literally, and you can see they're trying to program people against the other side, which is Democrat Republican. They have us in, and that's just one. Then there's the gender stuff where there's this gender war where it's it's your fault, it's my fault, and then there's an ageism thing, and it's all to divide us so that we're not paying attention to
okay, as much as like whatever you want to say about Abraham Lincoln, a house divided against itself cannot stand. If the United States of America in today's society is divided against itself, which it is, with race, sexuality, creed, religion, all these stupid human concepts are blinding us from human conservation.
I do want to say a note to the billionaires though. These people aren't inherently evil, and it's the system that's corrupt.
How can we live in a country where 80% of the population doesn't control the wealth? 10% of the nation's population is controlling 80% of the nation's wealth.
I think that the amount of evil they are correlates with their age.
Technocratic people.
I think it correlates with their age. Like a guy like Zuckerberg, I really do get his struggle, especially after just seeing the social network. It's like, you're just a guy who made a business model and that spiraled, and now you're in control of all this stuff. I think we have to empathize with those people because they're the people that kind of have a lot of the keys that we need to get unlocked. And just some of them are like Elon Musk. It's like, we get it. You're doing
neo-Nazi. What the fuck?
You're doing ketamine all the time, getting as many white women pregnant, getting the white seed, like
just spreading your fucking Aryan seed. Like, bro, this is what I like. These are the people that our president is cozied up with.
He's bankrolling he's much less forgivable because he's bankrolling the GOP, and he's already starting with their midterm.
Screw all the sexist race, bro. He's just a bad fucking president. He's just a bad dude. Like
my main gripe with him in 2025 was just getting into Doge, and I thought, okay, what are you gonna do to just rape consumer protections, and now we all have to fend for ourselves.
So you know more about the politics, the actual, like, not the politics. I know more about I know a lot about the politics.
I just watch C-SPAN a lot, and ground news and being plugged into your algorithm and trying to make a healthy algorithm for yourself.
Let them know though, because a lot of people don't understand. You have the power of consumerism. The power of consumerism is yours.
I used to think that was all bullshit, and I used to not care about boycotts or information boycotts and stuff like that. But as I've like kind of wisened up to like how responsive some of these algorithms are, it's like, oh no, like if a big group of men age 8-25 or whatever demographic is the one you're looking at start acting differently, these companies are going to respond with actual
data-based evidence is what we call it. So, like, every time that you make a purchase, right, there's data being taken in about that purchase. So, your algorithm, like you were talking about...
Don't spend all your money on porn and gambling.
Exactly. They're going to treat you as such, and then you're going to act as such. That's why you have the power of consumerism. What you buy, what you eat into, you are what you eat, right? So, just be mindful of what you're buying. Be mindful of what you're putting your money in. Everything is an investment in today's society. So even buying that...
Especially with the credit, like your debit or credit card keeps track of what you buy, and it'll give you...
Everything's documented.
If you buy cigarettes, your health insurance is going to go up.
Mm-hmm.
That's why
They say that. I just got a new job, right? And I was actually signing up for the healthcare plan. And it said, do you smoke cigarettes? Are you a cigarette smoker? And I actually was made to pay more because I smoked cigarettes, because I answered yes. So basically, everything that you buy is documented and put into other aspects of your life. So you're just data in the United States of America. So treat yourself as data and just have good data. It's all about good data. Also, try not to smoke. It's bad for you.
It's bad for the lung tissue.
Yes.
That goes for marijuana and blunts, guys.
It goes for everything. No smoke in your lungs is good.
Try not to live near a volcano. I love that New York, we're set straight from the environment. No, we're not near a fault line. It doesn't flood too much.
Tri-state area, my boy. Just dead on an island, bro. Just a straight island. But it's interesting because it's an island, but it's one of the most polluted places on the planet.
Oh my God, the Hudson
The
River.
Hudson River is toxic, bro. I saw this TikTok, and it was this John, and she jumped in the river, and everybody from New York was like, "You're obviously not from New York. You're swimming in caca water." Like,
Yeah,
bro.
there was a girl that told me, it was on a TikTok live, and she told the audience, I went to the Hudson River, I caught a fish and I ate it.
Oh my God, you got like 7 different
Yeah,
parasites,
bro.
bro. Jesus Christ. You got like 10 different microplastics from one bite, bro. Oh my God. And bro, you become a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle, bro.
Yeah. In the sewers eating pizza with Master Splinter.
Jesus Christ. Anybody from New York knows you don't eat anything or swim in the Hudson, bro. You don't do that.
You get your little boat, you put whatever huzz and bruz you brought, and you enjoy
eat
your
that
time.
from the supermarket, bro. You know, bro. All right, let's get back on track.
Yeah. On A track.
A track, exactly. So let's talk about marijuana. I'm a big marijuana guy. I love marijuana.
Rasta, your Rasta podcast.
Rasta podcast. But
it does come with this downfall.
there's pros and cons to everything.
You want to share your first time smoking?
Yeah.
I think it encapsulates kind of everything that I want to say.
So yeah, go ahead.
My first time smoking, I was too young. I was like 14. We were playing basketball with my friends, and I got the euphoric, whatever, your first time.
Just blast off.
Yeah. But then when I settled down and was playing basketball, I was in this state of paranoia of, oh my God, if I don't win this basketball game, my friends are going to walk to my house and kill my family. But it was a weird thing where
First time.
That was my first
wow,
time.
keep going. I'm going to add to this. Wow.
But we just kept
blowing them down.
Just blowing it down, and it that was a crazy story. I was on the floor, like with face to the, like begging them not to do it once I lost the first game.
So it was that psychoactive for you. Did you know that there's wow. All right, so my first time, we're going to get back to that. That's fascinating. My first time was absolutely euphoric. So it was 420, right? I wanted to smoke weed, so like it was my first. I must have been. It was May, so I was halfway into being 16, and so.
Oh, I was 13 then because it was my first.
That's why you probably had such a bad experience. I had a very horrible childhood. No disrespect to my parents. It was just I was a troubled kid.
Rubber meets road.
Exactly. So like right, that happened. So I was just very troubled. I had ADHD, autism, all these things, and
you were probably in an excited state, and you probably did something.
I could never exactly. So I texted my sister because she's younger than me, but I knew she was more street smart because just the people she hung out with in school. And I was like, but I had the plug and everything because I was like I wasn't stupid either. So I texted her. I was like, "Do you smoke weed?" Because I didn't want to do it by myself for the first time. She was like, "Yeah, I smoke weed." I was like, "So
just drugs in general, you should be doing.
Never do them by yourself. If you're gonna partake, which I don't recommend you do.
No, we don't condone that.
We don't condone street drugs here.
I don't condone smoking pot under a certain age. I think once you're 23.
Only the government. Only get your pot.
I was trying to get one of those cards, but
you don't need a card in New York.
Yeah, no.
You can go to any dispo with an ID, because it's what's the word? It's not federally legal. It's statewide. So
Trump is changing that.
He already declassified it. Nice. So it's a third degree substance, class 3 substance.
You're not going to be going to jail.
You won't be. It's decriminalized. Basically, it's decriminalized. Not yet, but we're getting there quickly. So
he needs issues to win on now that this Epstein stuff is.
Exactly. He needs promotions. So going back to what I was saying, I'm a firm believer that marijuana is not a drug. It's a plant that has psychoactive properties that doesn't make it a drug. Now, I don't know the science of drugs that well yet. I'm still studying. But going to what I was saying, let's go back.
Is your philosophy that if it's not manufactured in a lab, then it's not a drug?
Okay, so I could actually explain the sociology of this. So drugs, the molecules in drugs, right, they are naturally occurring. So they've been occurring since the dawn of time, since humans have been around, since probably before humans.
And humans probably been interacting.
They have probably played a vital part. This is theory, but
I don't want to get into Stone Age Joe Rogan type.
No, this is not Joe Rogan type shit. So like this actually scientific research is being done into this. Yeah, so they actually believe that drugs actually could have played a part into the way that humans devolved in evolution. Basically, so like our genetic deportation from being an animal to a sentient being that's free thinking and has sentience, they believe that drugs could have played a vital part in that. They're doing it's not no one's saying this is actual science, but it's
I do think people have been doing drugs for a long time, but specific claims of it had this effect. That's where it's just like doing deep history. Who knows?
but this is the difference. Like there's actual
They can
science,
trace it
there's
with
actual
genealogy,
scientific
and
Yes.
this plant was found near this.
Like 5-MeO
whatever, and they
DMT.
found a
Do you
farm.
really think that because like there's certain enzymes only found in the human that break down? This is science. This is not Joe Rogan.
I understand that there are enzymes that we have, so there's like
That
receptors
animals
that we
don't
have.
possess. So an
that-
animal, exactly, our pineal gland.
Receptors.
Yeah.
If you're in the know about neuroscience, you'll know.
Yeah.
Because the people that do have the conversations, they're the type that interact with these drugs, and these drugs
There's
they have especially the psychedelics. They have every thought you have is an epiphany that needs to be shared with the world, and that's just not
and then
true.
you forget it when you come down. You think you discovered the secrets of the universe, and then you're like, oh, I forgot to write it down, and then you forget. So you didn't discover the secret of the universe. You thought you discovered this. I could do a whole
You
podcast.
might have
on
had a
how
nice
to discover
cathartic moment with your brother or something, but
that. That's what you should take from it, but you don't take that, right? You
You
just
take-
take it. You take the I'm a
I'm
god.
out of the matrix.
I'm out of exactly. You don't take like I just had a beautiful healing moment with my brother that probably did more for me than whatever I could fucking fathom. Like that's
one thing that I've also come to with thoughts like that, where I definitely have had like smart thoughts that genuinely like just because the pot, your short-term memory is not there. But what I've come, if it's important enough, that groove will find you in
you'll
life
always
again.
find its way back to you.
If it's important enough,
Mhm.
then it'll be right there.
Right there. It's that, but that's what I'm saying. Weed encourages neuroplasticity. It encourages regrowth in the brain, new pathways to be like, and it doesn't affect dopamine the way that other drugs do, because I don't really get a big dopaminergic release from weed. In fact, sometimes weed makes me sad, and it helps me process things. Sometimes weed makes me angry, and it helps me process things. Weed is a tool used for therapy. This is why I fully believe that just because therapy, right? It's a course intended for a specific amount of time. Why can't we have things like weed therapy, where you take some THC pills and you talk to a therapist?
And there are places in this country that are more liberal with the drugs. You can get like your therapist or your psychiatrist to sign off on, this guy's going to go to Ecuador and he's going to do this treatment with this psychedelic and in a controlled environment with a shaman or another
Really?
doctor. You can hook that stuff up, but you got to have a.
But this is
psychiatrist
why
to-
I recently, because like I've recently, okay, so this is what the podcast. I've recently got off opiates, I was on opiates. So I started
recovery.
recovery
time.
Recovery. So let's go back to our first story about marijuana, right? Because first time I smoked it, everything that they say, like you remember those anti-marijuana PSAs where like if you smoke the devil's harvest,
Yeah.
or those 2000s like where the dog's talking to her, you're not the same when you smoke pot. Like these stupid things like that, trying to criminalize the drug. And like
I mean, it is true. When I smoke pot, I'm a little lighter and I'm.
it depends.
but
Do you smoke
sativas?
do you
higher-
no? But do you smoke government weed or do you smoke street weed? No judgment.
I've been trying to get from a dispensary recently, but from 14 through like 23, it was all.
So that's why you freaked out the first time, because you smoked something you had no idea what it was going to do to you. You go to a dispensary, you tell the bud tender how you feel, what you want. The bud tender, if they're trained properly, will know. Okay, so you need this, you need that. This is what's going to come help you bring down. This is what's going to help you be a little more productive.
They're
It's a
getting really good at
science.
that. I went to a
It's a
dispensary.
science.
I went to a dispensary, and like the way they walked me through, I thought it was just gonna be, this is where you get to this is where you get that, and it was that, but it was him walking me through
Everything.
And
And sometimes at first I felt like I was being treated like a little baby.
Yeah.
But they treat you like a baby because you know next to nothing, right? Because
These
it's
are
that
people that-
drug addict mentality that give me whatever's gonna get me high. You're not looking for something to medicate you. You're looking to self-medicate. And that's what addicts do, right? It's
if
that
you're being honest
yeah.
with yourself, a lot of times you're not looking for medication, you're looking for stimulus.
you're looking for a fix. A quick fix.
I have a note that this brought to mind, that as human beings, we're not designed for survival, we're designed for stimulus. And I think that I was thinking like cave divers and like people that like just do adrenaline junkie behavior where it's
But that in moderation that can be very productive.
so can
that can be
drugs.
like that- like
that's why
that's
Adderall's.
I worked AA and NA, and I do not endorse AA or NA. Okay, I have no
They're very strict
I have
and religious
no
based.
outside opinions on that. If you get the reference,
I'm more
you
neutral
get the
just because
reference.
it's a big organization that helps a lot of people through tough
I'm
times.
neutral to it,
Yeah.
but I don't agree with it.
I
don't agree with. I don't think 100%.
the specific teachings.
It's very doctrinational, where it's like it's just a doctrine and they're pumping it down, they're shoving it down your throat. The
It's like a new
steps-
age religion
It's
kind of
a
that
new age.
column.
It's very, very problematic in my opinion. And I've worked the program for 6 months. So I can say this like it's
You
very.
had the mentor. You
I had the
introduced
sponsor.
yourself,
I
you
had
read the
the.
book.
I was 100% sober, bro. 100% sober, and it was. This is gonna make me sound like a drug, but it was the worst time of my life.
Oh no!
I was more suicidal when I was sober than when I was on drugs.
I went through a 6-month like pure sober period at 21, which was like
That's when I went through it.
That's when I was pounding the psychedelics and kind of needed something like that.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with sobriety. In fact, those 8 months that I was sober is the reason I'm still alive.
It's just that my personality is like, I'm a fiend. I need stimulation.
You're not a fiend. You have substance use issues. Don't label yourself as such. That's what I mean by like, you can do whatever you want, obviously, but like that's the moniker addicts we give ourselves. That's why I hate rehab and AA, and they're like, oh, you're just an addict. You're just a garden variety addict. You know how many times I was told, like verbatim, bro, I was told in rehab, you're not different. You're just a garden variety addict. Like, that's what I mean by like, it's brainwashing. I was in this Avenues Find Your Way Home in Pennsylvania, and it's a rehab facility, and they told me, bro, I forget what they said, what did they tell me? They said, you can't think for yourself, you're a baby. They treated us like little, and this is so I actually spoke to one of the BHTs there, that's the techs. I'm not going to say her name out of respect to her, because she was a good tech, and I don't want to blow her up because I'm going to post this if it's okay with you. And
I have stuff I want to plug at the end.
Yeah, she told me that in rehab, right? So regular therapy, you're supposed to build someone. This is the doctrine behind it, the science. You're supposed to build someone up, right, in order to get them better. In recovery, you have to tear apparently you have to tear everything about them down, break them in order to build them back up.
I feel like you should already be at the point you're at, and then you.
That's what, bro. If you're going into rehab,
but like that's what the recovery coaches get drilled in their head. Yeah.
Yes, that's what they're taught. If you're already going into rehab, you're probably already broken.
The theory, I think, is that you have a relationship where like alcohol takes on the role of something like dad in your life, and they're looking to replace it with a better dad. But I think
that's what they say. So they say God, right? Because that's what they say in the program. You have to find a higher power. It doesn't have to be God, but you have to find a higher power. And they say God can stand for good, orderly direction. I don't agree with that, respectfully.
I have had like from the beginning of my religious journey, I was always an atheist. Like as soon as I started taking it seriously, it was like, no, there's no room for higher powers or anything like that. So a program like that wouldn't be effective for people like that.
Exactly. It's not effective for everybody. Anyone who's smart like us, AA and NA is going to seem like a scam. Because it is. It's just trading one addiction for another. I went to go get sober because I didn't want to be addicted to anything. So that's where I feel like it's fundamentally flawed. Because they're telling you, oh, don't be addicted by being addicted to something else. Or like replace the habit. Well, replace the habit with what? With this, going to meetings every day?
It should be another meaningful pursuit, not just a blank. A dad.
It's a blank father figure that, like, oh, okay, you're sober, I guess. That's what it feels like, right? Because like as an addict, whenever you're in active addiction, I'm an addict. I'm a bare bones addict. I was a meth addict. I was an opiate addict. I've been on the streets. I've been homeless. I've been through the ringer.
And you're standing here. You should be proud of yourself.
I am very proud of myself, but that's why I do this, because I want other people to see that there is hope. You can be a 22-year-old recovering addict in the United States of America. Don't get it twisted. There's a lot of good, like, a lot of
goodwill out there.
I'm starting this podcast because I want to spread. This is the plug, like the pilot episode, right? So like, if you're gonna stay tuned, this is what the podcast is gonna be about. It's
recording every Friday or
every Friday. So like, new episode every Friday if we can, and like it's just two dudes talking about something that means something to them, and that's what
I'm recovering from mania and bad cognition.
Just people recovering from life, because like sometimes life causes you. There's a need to recover. Bad things happen, and I'm tired. I grew up where people minimize your pain. They don't treat you right. And like this is, if you need a daily affirmation, then watch the show. You don't just be open-minded. That's all we ask. Like, if you want to join us on this journey of our healing,
be active in comments. I'm sure we'll be reading them, and we're curious.
You can call it cringy. You can call it whatever you want, but I'm gonna do something that's beyond myself. That's what they teach you in recovery. Recovery is not about 100% sober. Like, we have the harm reduction up right here. Like in Rich Roots, bro, you just be better than who you are yesterday.
I want to get on a topic.
All right, let's get on a topic.
You're not a sports guy.
I am a sport. What do you mean?
Basketball and
I don't know
football.
I love the
sports.
sports.
You're not looking the league.
I've
been like that.
No. I was baseball, yeah. But
then we can just talk about just the sports that have me. I identified as a basketball player from like 15, even like embarrassingly late, especially basketball. I have a weird relationship with it because up until the age 12, which you have to understand what a 12-year-old is, I thought I was the same height as LeBron James. So I was working. I was like, "Oh, hoop is gonna be my
cognitive distortion, bro."
Yeah, and I was practicing like I wanted to be a post player because the player I idolized in that time frame was Dirk Nowitzki, and he's a 7 foot tall man who perfected the unblockable shot, which is him like leaning back at like angles where it's like physically hard to jump that high to block a shot. But I'm 5'8", so that in my play style works. So it's a lot less effective. I had to transition to a guard later, but yeah, what relationship? I identify as like it feeds my ego.
So I was a baseball player for
That's a good one.
For 8 years. It was
it teaches you to sit. I feel like
it teaches you a lot of self-discipline, and like my dad, he specifically picked baseball for that because he knew my dad. I have a very interesting relationship with my father in the sense like I feel like every man they equate their relationship to their father with some type of sport. It's just how men are. Like
my father, he was a soccer player that played like for the U20 national El Salvador team, and he had those kind of dreams, but he had to move to America when he was 18. But at the point in his life when he had us, he still played in men's league, and that was like it put I had my father on a pedestal, which is just like once a week I got to see him be like an actual good soccer player, like with a bunch of other grown men.
The only time you saw him happy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because my dad, he especially around that time worked like long hours. Because he was in that stage of like starting a new family and trying to get him out of the hood. Yeah.
So like as a fellow Hispanic male, like I feel like again that's a cultural thing where like all of our fathers they grew up very poor and impoverished, and they were like
they want to raise the next Messi.
The only way out was like because they saw the other brown boy like Reggie Jackson or like not Percy Jackson, Reggie Jackson and like the other very famous Robinson. I forget his first name. Jackie Robinson. Like Robinson 42. Like it's a fantastic movie by the way. But he was just like to break the glass ceiling, to break that color barrier, and like every brown boy in that era grew up thinking, oh, I could be like Reggie Jackson or Jackie Robinson.
Role models are important.
Yes, and that's why like it's so important that like we have Miles Morales and we have.
There's a Latino Spider-Man. I learned that the other day.
It was very Latino. He's Afro-Latino.
Is he have one with electric powers?
The Venom Blast.
I wrote this document that I need to reread to remind myself certain things. Racism cheat codes. Afro-Latino is a valid. That's a concept. There are a lot of people who you look at them and you think, oh, their bloodline is like from Barry here. It's like no, my history to my grandfather like even ties me to this piece of land, not the one that you first assumed by seeing me. Shout out to my Afro-Latino. My last girlfriend was Afro-Latino. It's very bad.
It's very like because like Into the Spider-Verse, like it's cool to see like he has the exaggerated swagger of a black teen, right? But it's also cool to see his mom and him say things to each other in Spanish because his mom is Puerto Rican.
That's a lot of the people's experience.
Or Dominican, like, and that's why it was funny across the Spider-Verse. She's like, "You have a B in Spanish," and like she's getting mad at him because like he's embracing his roots on his dad's side more than he's embracing his roots on his mom's side. So like. It's very interesting.
That's both of my parents come from the same country, so I've never even thought of that dynamic.
I'm Chinese, Arab, Puerto Rican, and Cuban.
Ambiguous.
I'm very racially ambiguous. Very.
How I see it, I'm not a racial purist. I don't think that one race is better than the other, and I think if everyone's doing their own thing, we'll end up with people like you.
That's very interesting because like I'm not tooting my own horn, but I've always been like people are like you look exotic. And like it just pisses me off. I'm like, the fuck do you mean I look exotic? I'm American.
I have a complex where people say I'm white passing or look white, and I used to hate that for a while, but I get what they mean.
Because you wouldn't pass the paper bag test.
I'm the lightest in my family.
That doesn't mean that you're white passing. See, that's a common misconception, and a lot of Puerto Rican family,
El Salvador,
or like just a Hispanic, Central American, yes, like so like. It's always like, cause like, bro, me and my sister, we're the darkest in our family. I have 5 siblings, so like me and my older sister, we're the darkest in our family, and like we've endured the most racism. Cause my older brother, he's extremely white passing. My other sisters are very white passing. All 3 of them. It's me and my sister Natalie. We're the only ones that look Arab because we got that in our recessive genes or dominant genes.
The cards when the 2 cells that met at
the mitosis, right? Or Ganny and it's a Ganny and
I've been watching videos.
Is it a zygote?
Zygote.
Zygote, yeah.
I should know that. I've been watching videos about reproduction because, I told you about racism cheat codes.
Yeah.
I'm working on a new one, sex and gender cheat codes, which because that is I'm a Gen Z, and one of the things that I'm struggling with in my life right now is just plain loneliness. Like I just don't have a lot of bodies to hug when I need a hug. Or
Physical. There's something to be said for physical touch.
And just socialization from just women your age. That's a big hole that.
I don't know. I guess since I grew up.
I have to go to the internet.
Did you grow up with brothers and sisters? Or
just brothers.
Okay, so I grew up with brothers and sisters, so that
you have that.
My sociology is different because I also have a very unique ability. Because I know, I have brothers. Brothers. I have brothers who have sisters, and they can't. No. I mean, like I have like brothers, like my
like bros.
I have bros, and they're like they have sisters, and they still can't view women platonically. And it's like
I've always seen. Because I was like I was a problematic gooner with like porn obsessed, like Charlie Kirk, like porn. And honestly, Japanese idol culture helped me kind of slay that demon because it's like, you can see these women as just in a pure wholesome light, and not just tools and objects for
That's the thing about American culture. Because of American society, women have always been very sexualized, and the only time.
Who's the new girl that was on Disney Channel that's showing her ass, whatever?
Oh, I fuck it.
There's like 2 or 3.
I don't keep up with it anymore because it's very.
Miley Cyrus, that was one when I was growing up.
But that's the common Disney trope. Like, right, I'm not a little child star anymore. I can take it all off, and
it's toxic that's what
what the society has become. Women.
It's what the hemophilic people at the top are funding, and pushing through the algorithm. Because back then,
very hemophilic. Okay, so this is gonna we're treading some dangerous waters here. All right, so hemophilic is not necessarily pedophile.
No, it's under that umbrella.
It's under that umbrella. It's kind of hard to explain.
You can't because pedophilia.
It's kind of hard to explain the difference without sounding like a pedophile.
That's that Seamus joke, I think.
Yeah, it's not. Yeah, it was a stand-up. It was a stand-up bit. But it really like a hemophile is someone who's attracted to like pre-adolescents or like they
13 through like 17, 18.
Yeah, so that's the sociology of it. A pedophile supposedly would be somebody who's attracted to.
I don't think that it's saying anything controversial. The people in power right now are those types.
Very hemophilic, extremely.
And that's also cultural conditioning because they grew up with women that were praised in the magazines who were the skinny, taller, but you don't get those dimensions. Because of the growing.
But like, here's the thing: back then, malnourishment wasn't a cultural tragedy because everybody was malnourished because it was the fucking 20s and we didn't have the FDA. People were getting fucking parasites all the time. Little boys were on opium because they had mind coughs. Like. The world was not a good place before the 21st century. Like, in the world, people are like, the world sucks now. We're at the most...
You just have to show them the stats of, this is how many people were hungry before, percentage-wise, this is how many people are hungry now. Like, you're physically safe, right? You're having all these worries. Exactly. You're physically, and no one's tried to...
It's that catastrophe.
Where's the last time you were drafted in a war?
Exactly. It's that catastrophization of just the whole world. It's like, so many people need therapy, and they just continue to look at the world through catastrophizing you, making the whole world... just seem like one catastrophe.
It's easy to do in an age where you can choose whatever information source you get, and constantly the Gaza stuff is still happening, or constantly the Ukraine stuff is still happening, or constantly.
But we don't care
Boko
about
Haram. I care too much about that.
No, I care too much as well. But like the average American,
yes.
Dude, I remember I had ulcers in my stomach when the whole Ukraine situation was starting to happen. Because I worry that much. Because as someone who's really smart, I'm thinking, well, this is the Donbass region. All this is an international.
You will hear from the average American. Don't even care. Why are you plugged?
What do you mean? This could be nuclear arming. This could be armed conflict.
Oh my God!
Like,
don't even get me started on the nuke thing. When Russia or China or USA, I pay particular attention.
I get sick to my stomach because it's scary to know that in my life, everything that we know could be over in an instant.
It was so
because
traumatizing to me.
Because of the people in power.
It was so traumatizing to me learning about nuclear weapon like that thing in history. I remember for 2 weeks like having the hardest time sleeping. And like you hear stories,
anxiety.
And then when you think about, I in the past 3 months listened to the black box from the people that dropped the bomb on either Hiroshima or Nagasaki. It's because I plan to be kind of sorry.
No, you're good.
I have fun.
You're good.
Yeah, you're welcome. Oh, awesome.
We will be back after these short messages. I hope you guys are enjoying.